cruisers do their reports, access the database, and run records and so forth. So that was part of that as well.
I think what we need, Mike, is a list of the new equipment that you're planning on purchasing. Okay, and just.
This one was based on five of those mobile switches.
Okay. Well, just give us the list and the cost per item, if you would.
May I, Madam Chair?
Yep.
Yes, I agree with that. I think there should be an addendum to list exactly what the equipment is that's covered. And also on 096, firearms training equipment. Again, that's gone up considerably. I would like to see an addendum to that line with a list of the firearm training equipment and the cost of each individual piece of equipment.
I got it right here. I can get it to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. It's all listed. I got it.
That's fine. Just
sure. Yep.
and the all right, contract services. Where did I find that one? New equipment.
Bottom of page 9.
Which
Yeah.
one is it?
Is that the
Oh, the contract. Yeah, this is the contract for
Cybertron.
Cybertron.
You asked why we split it. Is this where you asked why we split it between both?
Well, I just I asked why you didn't split it.
We
Unless
did.
I did.
We did
miss
ask.
it.
You asked. I thought you asked why we split it, and we split it because we have expenses on both sides.
Half and half.
Yeah. Again, it's new. We're exploring it. We don't know which everything's going to come out. I can't tell you that it's accurate. We just projected by talking with the IT guy and with talking with the commissioners and so forth. We thought that was a fair amount.
So, do you have a contract or a bid out, or?
It's being worked on right now with Cybertron.
Wait a
The final contract that gets signed is being worked out right now. But when this was due
Comes up
in,
in March.
yeah,
Contract comes up in March with Cybertron.
for you, for us, it's we need something now.
Yeah.
And this was when we had to submit the budget. We weren't, we had to do it before we had a chance to talk to them, and so we got it projected what we thought it was going to be. This may in fact go down. It might go up. So once we get the final contract, we'll know what the expense is, and we can tell you that exactly.
Now, one of the arguments a year ago against going with Cybertron was that the complexity of the equipment. And so I guess that one of my concerns is that as we are looking at, adjusting the contract or amending the contract, I assume it's a contract, and that you probably, the way the contract reads, if you have additional work, you can do it and you get paid for it. And so I would think that we should have only one contract for the entire county complex.
We thought it would be cheaper if we did it that way.
Yeah.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, there should be, one, and everybody contributes to it. I don't have a problem with that. But I do worry about the fact that is Cybertron right now doing work in sheriff and dispatch?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And so we are paying whatever extra, and you're working on a new contract starting in March. Is that correct?
We had talked with the commissioners about doing a global one. I don't think there's any final resolution, but we need something starting for January.
Well, you don't need a contract as long as you're being serviced. Okay.
But we still need to pull the money from.
I think you're paying so much a month now.
We are paying $4,500 a month now, and that's what was projected out on the $5,400.
Okay.
And then again, that might go up, that might go down. I don't know. That's what we're.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Can I add
Yeah,
something?
wait, no, not
Okay.
yet, not yet. The reason I'm having a little problem with this is because we did not have a line in our budget last year to cover Cybertron. And you're not supposed to add new things until such time as the budget gets passed. You can spend what you did last year, but you can't expend beyond what you did last year. So, and I'm not arguing that we don't need to be able to pay for maintenance, but we paid for maintenance last year out of our salary line, or for the first 3 months anyhow. We paid for it out of the salary line, and so I don't know. You know, I mean, it doesn't make sense to pay it out of the salary line. And I did notice, obviously, that the salary line was reduced, you know, significantly for the admin people. But I am a little concerned that we have changed the definition of our, and this is not, you know, this is more to the commissioners, that we have changed the definition of our information technology line because it was not for maintenance before.
That's right.
And so I just, you know, I ask you to think about the right place for it to come from until you have a new contract and until we pass the budget, because of, you know, whatever's going on. And it may in fact need to come out of, you know, communications stuff, you know, radio communications, which is, you know, what that's all about. And then for the, you know, but I don't know. I'm just concerned that we have, you know, and it's really not information technology, in my humble opinion. But unless they're doing programming, or they're, you know, or they're doing something along that line that would dump it into the information technology area, or you're buying equipment, or you're, you know. But just one of my thought processes that, you know, if we're going to truly come to grips with appropriate places for funding and appropriate procedures for funding, then we also need to think about the fact that since we didn't really have this amount of money in there, we need to look at it. So, okay, did somebody else have a comment?
Madam Chairman, we spent $20,000 for Captain Myers to maintain that system.
Yeah.
Are you saying we probably should have taken that out of salary and put it under
Computer
communications
expenses.
or something?
Yeah.
Computer expenses.
So
Whatever.
in 2011, there should be money left over from his 20,000 that could go towards Cybertron. You're saying that Cybertron was not in there. So what's the answer to the problem of having somebody maintaining their equipment, I guess?
There's nothing wrong with having someone maintain their equipment. That's not the problem.
Okay.
The problem is that we have put it under information technology, okay,
Yeah.
which is a category that we historically have spent close to $0 on,
Yeah,
okay, and we're now expending $4,500 a month,
right.
okay? And as you know, you can't make new expenses until the budget's passed. And what we've basically done is that we've made new expenses. I agree that we should have one contract that runs from March to March, for however long you want it to run. But I'm only saying that during this, during this first 3 months of the year, that we probably should not be taking it out of information technology, but rather should be taking it out of some other area, because we had not historically been doing this in this area. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can I
Asha?
add something? The last time the sheriff was in, he said Captain Myers was paid $15,000 for the IT. And Cybertron said even if there are 2 contracts, it would be the same price.
It would be 15,000.
It would be the same price, yeah. Because Commissioner Sorensen said if it is 1 contract, we would get a discount. But he said even if there were 2 separate contracts, it would be the same price. So we still get a discount.
We only need 1 contract. Okay.
You want to, yeah, okay.
To the county you're talking about,
Yeah,
the entire
for the
county,
county.
exactly.
You know, we need 1 contract. It's a county-wide thing, you know? It's not a sheriff's thing and it's not a non-sheriff thing. It's a thing. And everybody pays their portion of it. And we just need to make sure that when we're looking at it, we charge the sheriff what the sheriff, you know, requires. I don't think we need 2 contracts. My concern is not the contract. It's how we're paying for it during this 3 months. And I can, you know, I mean, if you want me to find a line item to charge it against, we can do that.
I could say contract services, contracted services could be put under that. We contracted with Cybertron to maintain the computers. So that line item may be overspent.
But it's not an over expense, because by the end of the year, it'll all work out. I'm only concerned about the first 3 months of the year where we are incurring a
I see.
cost.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, we're incurring a cost that is not,
Wasn't supposed to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
okay? Where the money was up in salaries.
Which shouldn't have been there.
Well, that's where it was, because that's how we decided we were going to pay for it. I mean, that was the choice that we had. Yes.
The contract is 1 year, is it? A 1-year contract?
I believe so.
Is it rebid every year? Is it put out for bids every year?
I don't know how that was handled. I know it was put out for bids on the current contract. We can put it out for bids for that new contract. And in fact, I believe the sheriff is still negotiating with Cybertron to reduce the sheriff's portion of that expense. So it should be less when we go campus-wide.
Look, you know, the sheriff should not be negotiating the contract for the campus-wide. The sheriff should have an input to what he needs.
Yeah, well, I think that's what he meant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need to think about that and figure out, you know, maybe it needs to be charged under communications, maybe it needs to be charged under something else. And, you know, we can, or maybe we need a new line item. Maybe, you know, for the rest of the year after March, you know, pay for it under this line, January to 31 March, and then, you know, then we have a new line item that takes up for the rest of the year. So. Yes?
Just a comment on contracts. I hope we're not doing 1-year contracts on this. They're inefficient and they're stupid. It should be a minimum of 3 years. It's just
I think the first
with
year.
an option.
I think the first year we did it. Yeah, we did it for a year because, and again, this is what I was looking at too. If we want to go countywide, that's fine. But I didn't want to lock into something for 3 years if I didn't. I want to go a year and see what I need.
No, I'm
then,
talking about when we
Yeah.
go to the county,
Okay.
all encompassing. My goodness, I hope that's not a 1-year contract. It's
It should be
not a good way to do business.
not for that stuff anyhow. Okay. All right. Now let's turn to Frank's questions on the sheriff.